Welcome back guys, and this is the continuations of functional interface. And in last video I have explained whatever it is visible on this screen, right? I have wrote all the program and I have told you how it works. So in this video I will talk about how the other method of this functional interface works. So in these functions, as I said, this came as a Java 1.8, and we have some more method compose and then an identity. We will see that how this guy works. So let's say look at focus here, the functions which we have already designed. So this is one guy, this is one functions which will convert to the uppercase and it will concatenate with some string. Now I just wrote one more functions. So this what it will do, it will convert your a string to the lowercase, right? And you know that this is the input to the function and this is what output you are expecting from the function, right? So here these functions will take one argument which we write in the parenthesis, right? And this argument always we need to supply as a string because this is the input and this is going to be the output. Okay, since there is only one line, I don't need to write curly braces. So guys, one more thing, when you are watching my video, please make sure that you are watching in the series. Otherwise a lot of concept which I have covered earlier, I'm not going to repeat again, so you might not understand why we write, how do you write. So please follow the sequence, okay, in my playlist. Now one thing we can, if you look at the common here, what we have is in the function input is a string, output is a string. Even in this first functions, input is a string, output is a strings. So can we use and then, and can we write this? Yes, we can. So whenever you have a two functions which takes the same input and it has the same output, okay, we can use with and then. So print statement, this is the first string, add string dot. So first what it will do, it will do uppercase, it will do concatenate, and then I'm saying that and then change to lowercase, call this function. So these functions will convert to lower dot applies the method which will take the argument. So here I'm saying that test. So what is the output is going to be, see your when you call this, basically what happens, first it will call this function. So these functions will convert to the uppercase, it will do the concatenations, right? So your test is going to be capital and ram is going to be as it is, there will not be any change. Finally, when once this functions is performed, it will call second functions. The second functions you are converting to the lowercase. When you are converting to the lowercase, your output is going to be, final output is going to be lowercase. When I run this program, you can see that test ram. So everything became to the lowercase, right? If you remember the first functions when I was talking here, and if you remember, I have called here these functions, right? What was the output? So input was test and concatenations was with ram and it was to uppercase. So this was the output, if you remember, capital test and then ram as it is. But what is the output now? Everything became small, right? So and then will help us to combine multiple functions and to see the result. So basically it is performing a lot of tasks. You can do and then and then and then. Another thing I would like to show you why I was saying that your functions input and output should be same, then only you can do and then. So let's say this is input is a string, output is a string of these functions. The second functions where you have input a string, output is an integer. Can I combine this? Can I do and then of this? Right? Yes, I am able to do that. The reason is, another one more important point we need to understand is, see, the output can be different. Okay, the output can be different but the input remains same. If I will go and if I'll pick up these functions, add 4, so basically here the input is the integer. Can I use this? Can I, instead of, can I write this add 4? No, I'll get a compile time error. The reason being is, whatever first functions I have, there the input is the string. Whatever the second functions you are using here, the input is the integer. Now look at here, your this functions has input as an integer, your first functions has input as a string, Now when you call the apply method, the apply method will get confused, okay, because this apply will not understand what data need to be passed, because one functions accept a string, the second accepts integer. So this kind of and then you cannot do that. So you can do and then only when if your input type is same. So I can go and I can use this string, no problem. I can also go and I can use this, no problem. I can combine more dot and then I can use this. And then so again you look at here what happened in the string 3. So if you focus here, okay, the important concept we need to understand one by one. In one shot I cannot tell you everything. So if you look at these functions, what was the input? Input was the string. What was the output? Output was the string, right? So your these functions produces output as an string, correct? Clear? Now your these functions input is a string, correct? So whatever output comes from these functions, it will go input to these functions. Clear? Now what is the output of these functions? Add string 1. What is the output? It is integer. Output is the integer. Now when you call this add string, though here input is integer, will this work? It will not work, because this functions is producing output as an integer, and when I am calling this third function, this guy expect input as a string. So you will get compile time error. You will get compile time error. But if you will call the add string 4, this will work, because this guy input is the integer. Clear? So whatever output comes from the first functions, that would be the input to the second functions. Whatever output comes from the second functions, that would be the input to the third functions. Whatever output comes from the third functions, that would be the input for the fourth functions. Whenever you use and then, that's how it works. So here when I do add 3, this will not work, because this guy output is integer. When you just place mouse over here, it will tell you also like what is the problem, the method and then this. So you can read that in the type of this string function is not applicable for the argument functions of a string comma boolean. Got my point, right? So now can I go and instead of 3, can I change to add string 4, because here the input is integer. Can I go and can I change it? Yes, I can, and there is no error. You can see that there is no error, and I can run this program, right? Your answer is false. Why your answer is false is your first function will convert to uppercase, okay? So this guy becomes capital test and it will concat with RAM, so test RAM. Then what is this? The output of first functions will go input to the second functions. Here we are checking for the length. So let's say we will get a length for that. So what is the length? So RAM and then you have a test. So 1 2 3 4 and 5 6 7. 7 you got as a length. So length what you got? 7. That is the output of your second functions. Now 7, this will go to your third function. So here 7, you have a check. If greater than 10, then only true, but it is 7, so you will get false. But if you go here and if you change this to some other string, some bigger string, now your output is going to be true. Your output is going to be true, right? Because when first functions was called, it converted to uppercase, concatenated with RAM, so your string was very big. When it went to the second functions, the length is, yes, of course, the more than 10, the output from the first functions. When the length is more than 10, it came to the fourth functions. Here, yes, it is greater than 10. You will get output as an true. Clear how and then works, right? I have given you enough example. Now, what is compose? Compose is also very interesting things. So, compose basically what happens is, let's say I have two functions, okay? I have two functions. So let me do one thing. Let me write separate functions for that, so that I can exactly explain you how it works. So let's say you have a function which takes input an integer as an input and produces integer as an output. So you have functions called add and you have functions called multiply. Okay, two functions you have. So this guy will add. So 2 plus whatever input a. Okay, whatever input comes to these functions, it will add that, and this guy what it will do, whatever input will come to this, it will do multiply. Clear? So there are two functions, one will add that and this guy will multiply that. Okay, as there is only one argument, I don't need to write the parenthesis also, so you can remove the parenthesis from all the functions, no problem, because there is only one argument. Okay, so this guy will do add and this guy will do multiply. Generally what happens, your multiply has more preference, correct? But compose, how it will help you? Compose, the benefit of compose is, let's say if multiply is my function, when I do multiply dot compose and then when I will do add, so basically what happens, like how this compose will help you in real time. When you go to the definitions of compose, click on control, click on compose. See, the benefit is whatever you write after compose, that will be performed before. Okay, so look at here, returns the compose functions that first applies the functions to its input and then apply these functions to the result. Okay, so in the simple English, if I have to explain you, whatever you call after whatever you will call as an argument to the compose, that will be performed first and then multiply will be performed. If I have to store into a variable called, let's say, data, place mouse over here, click on create local variable. This is, you can see that this is another function, right? So this is the return type of compose is the functions, and when you do dot apply, because it's a functions, when I let's say do 3, so what output will come? What output will come here? So when I say apply 3, first what it will do, add will get called, like whatever you write inside the compose, that will be before, so add will get called. So I am adding 3, so 3 plus 2, what would be the output? 5. 3 plus 2 is 5. This 5 output from this add functions will go to the multiply functions to the input. So 5 will come here as an input. So A will be the 5. 5 into 10, 5 into 2, 10. So whatever output will come from the add, it will go input to the multiply functions, guys, because this is the input, right? Now if I run that, your output is going to be 10. See here, your output is 10. Clear? You got how compose will help you? Whatever you want to perform, right, before, you can write in the compose and compose will help you to perform before, and whatever output will come from that compose function, that will be input to your other functions. So with this, I'll close the video, and with this we are done with all functional interface methods which is required for our program. Okay, thank you guys, thank you for watching this.